Can you... Is it audible? We used to have this show, a TV show somewhere, where the host would make the audience guess what is the thing that's making that sound, and people will call and guess, and their answers will be aired live, and of course the winner gets money. And you're being held by a pancake mix and the vacuum cleaner nozzle and these. Don't worry, my friend, it's just avocado oil. It's healthy for everything. Not everything, but you know what I mean. We can just enjoy this marvelous sort of, because look at the colors of this thing and the sun, and look at this frame. I can delete myself. Just a second. Yeah, now I can put myself in the frame again so I can exist. We're existing somewhere in time, inside a golden sort of moment. This is golden in several respects. Speaking of respect, I'm not gonna speak about that. But I learned something about what they call the social battery. Social battery. So, no. You're on the other side, so I'll try to write this as best as I can. Shall battery. I think I just made my brain a little bit healthier because of that. I haven't done that before, so it was a challenge for the brain. Anyway, and I didn't learn this alone, of course. Like majority of the significant discoveries, this is not something that I came up with alone. I got inspired by the existence and the mind of another person and the interaction that happened. So I learned let me do that again. Maybe I should start doing some warm-ups before I hit record, because this always happens, like you've noticed by now. Whenever I hit record, even though I know what I want to speak about, sometimes there's no smooth interaction between this and this. So I'll try again. Well, do you remember that time when I told you that my brain at least, maybe yours as well, my brain does this thing whenever I'm with the humans. It kind of builds a unique bridge depending on who I'm speaking with. And if I remember correctly, I spoke to you about how it's very energizing to speak with kids or socialize with children, and it's quite exhausting with the ones on the other end of the spectrum of this system of counting the years of how long the human has lived. It's quite exhausting, even though you sort of feel connected with them. I sort of feel connected with them. It's a bit exhausting because, like I said, I feel like I have to jump 30 years in the future and then to communicate with them. But today, I had this privilege of speaking with someone who I didn't feel that way with. And through that, I discovered that the reason why a lot of the times I get exhausted with the social interaction is because the other party usually doesn't build the bridge, I feel like. But with her, she was the first one to lay out the sort of blueprint of this bridge between me and her. She was the first one. For example, there are ducks flying by. For example, she was the first person to ever ask me, why is my name French? She's the first person ever in my lifetime to ask me, why is my name in French? Why do I have a French name? And of course, I answered. I told her why. And then she randomly spoke about how I think I may have forgotten to tell you that she belongs to the elderly sort of people. What is that? What is that sentence? She is an elderly. Is that a coherent sentence? What is happening with my sentence? Yeah, she said that she is almost 90 now. And she told me the exact year also. Yeah, she was the first one who asked me, why do you have a French name? So I answered. And then yeah, at random points, she spoke to me about this recent event in her life. And she spoke to me about how she felt about it. And I was listening to her. And I was really looking at her and listening, and she's so articulate. And she has this very warm smile. Then later on, she offered some cup of coffee, and I accepted. And she said one random another thing that I have never heard anyone say before is that sit down and don't say anything. After pouring a cup of coffee, she said, because I was looking at her because I'm gauging whether it's polite to sit down, whether it's polite to sit down if she's still standing up, or should I wait for her to grab her chair. I'm kind of gauging how I should behave in this situation. So, but then maybe she read my mind, or so she said, sit down and don't say anything. But even but before she got the chance to say that, I managed to thank her for pouring the cup of coffee. So, and then I obeyed. I sat down and didn't say a word, but then she was the one who spoke first because of after this. And I forgot what she said, but I remember noticing this single fridge magnet that she has, which is a quote from Oscar Wilde. It's about temptation. And I'm like, I like that author. And at first she was lost about what I am speaking about. So I pointed, I like that author, Oscar Wilde. And I like his, style with words. And I elaborated a bit more about why I like this, the work, and the way he weaves words and phrases and sentences together, and how it makes me feel. And then the conversation just went on so many different roads from there. And another thing that's very refreshing about her is that she asks questions that feels very unique to her, very unique to her perception and curiosities. She asks questions out of the author inside her brain, instead of the author in the social norms. Instead of She asks questions from her. From her. She asks questions from her. And not through the eyes of the social norms. And it's very refreshing because that's something that doesn't happen very often. And I didn't feel any exhaustion at all when we were speaking. I didn't feel like I had to jump 30 years in the future. I didn't feel like I have to I didn't feel this I didn't feel like I made any effort though. It's so strange. I'm not sure if I have had this before. Maybe that's why I'm finding it hard to put the experience in words, because I'm not sure if I have had this before. I didn't feel like I had to make an effort to connect with the person, because the person, maybe what is that? What is that? Maybe that's how it feels like when a wise person just holds your hand and walks with you. Maybe that's how it feels like. You don't have to make an effort. I feel like I'm a child in this situation, and I met the fairy godmother. And we are just walking in a golden field, and she spoke to me about her life, her daughters, how she feels about the recent events. And I spoke to her. About very specific things. I feel more articulate when I was speaking with her. I feel more smart than I am actually. And with this, I think she helped me realize that thing about the social battery that I was speaking with you about. Social battery sounds so corporate. Do you think that a lot of things in this life sound so corporate? A lot of things in this life sound so corporate that it me saying social battery in these conversations kind of just kills the entire golden field. You know, do you feel that? It feels so corporate and gray and dry and cold. But I haven't thought of something else to call it that will also be understandable to a person that is outside of myself, so I'm just using it for now. But yeah, I realized that forgive me, my friend, I'm so happy about the background, because at least, even if my brain is breaking, you at least have the golden light behind me. But yeah, I was just happy that I met her. And she has this very beautiful home. The light enters in the right places, and very interesting choices of furnitures, the antiques, the color. It feels so warm. Her choice of colors, of the decor. You can feel the history of the life. In her home, reflected on her choices of what to put inside her home. So nice to exist and sit on the ground. I have never sat on this field before. I should try lying down just to see how it feels. I hope this is what dying feels like. Not dying in process of dying, but like, not in the middle dying sort of, but like the end point of death. I hope this is what it feels like. This is the right angle of the sun. This is, I guess, the right texture and the right atmosphere to have a lovely death. Anyway, I should be heading back, and we kind of just existed together. I don't think I have said something meaningful. I'm not sure if I said something meaningful, but I hope you enjoyed sitting here with me for a bit. I should go. I should go. I'm hungry. See you.